Hi everybody, so this is a 30-minute advanced mat Pilates routine. So ideally it would be great if you've done a little bit of warming up, so even if it's just a couple of roll downs, because we haven't got long and we will be getting straight into it. This class is definitely not safe if you're pregnant, and to be honest I would even say if you're kind of quite early stages it might be worth starting to taper down. If you're recently postnatal, or you've got diastasis, same thing, it's going to be a lot of core work, so it might not be the best class to do, and equally if you're injured. Otherwise, if you're good and you're ready to go and you understand the breath and neutral and imprint, then you're all good to go. So when you're ready, let's start in the middle of your mat, so come to the centre of your mat. Take a second to find as neutral a start position as you can manage, and then just think about your breath. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Again, nice big deep breath, filling up all of the rib cage, and a nice noisy exhale out through the mouth. When you're ready, you can reach your arms up overhead, maintaining a nice neutral start position. Just check that rib cage. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, you're going to come up onto tiptoes, hold it there, check the ankles are nice and neutral, and then inhale, lower the heels back down. Exhale to rise up, and inhale to come back down. Keep this going, keeping that pelvis as still as you can. So always thinking about it like that bowl of water, thinking about that rib cage stacking directly on top of that pelvis. So the angle of the pelvis and the rib cage should actually be really similar, almost like they're looking into each other. Bit of core engagement, and not taking the arms so far back that you do start to do this and sway back. We're just going to do 4 more of these. Think about what your ankles look like from the front, so they shouldn't fall out or collapse in. And then on the next one, we're going to come up, we're going to hold it here. I'll face towards you. We're going to go single calf raises, so one up, one down. Keeping those hips relatively still, so it's none of this. We're staying nice and neutral if we can. And just doing final 3 and 2 and 1. Now come up onto both tiptoes, take the arms to crucifix for a bit of balance. Load up your left foot, lift your right foot even more, so it's only really the big toe on the floor, and then we're going to slowly come down to that left heel and then calf raise on that left ankle. Left heel down and left heel up. So it's a single calf raise. The right foot is only here for the bare minimum. It's just to stop you falling over. If, and I'm not great at this, you can do it with the foot off the floor, then that is an option for you too, okay? An in-between option would be foot off the floor holding a wall. But if we can do it without holding on to anything, it's always going to be more challenging, more stabilizers needed. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Finish at the top, lower the right toe, come back to both balls of the feet. Load up the right ankle, lift the left foot even more. Calf raise on the right side. Drop the heel, lift the heel, drop and lift. Still thinking about that nice neutral ankle if you can. I don't want them rolling out. You'd be better off making the exercise easier, doing it correctly, then building your strength up. If you want to lift your left foot off the floor, you can. I do actually start rolling out a bit when I lift my foot, so I should probably take my own advice. Do the easier option well. You've got your arms out here for balance, if it helps. We're going to do 4 more. Now, if you're a runner, okay, or you do anything that's quite plyometric, where you're jumping around, single calf raises are your best friend, hopefully to prevent injury. Let's do 1 more. Come up, stay, lower both balls back down so you're equal across both feet. Come down, rest. Give your ankles a quick roll, quick shake out. Come back to standing in neutral hands to prayer for hip hinges. So inhaling, hinge at the hips, push your bum back at the bottom, check your technique. Exhale, push yourself back to standing. Inhale, we hinge, and exhale, you press back up. So because you're advanced, and hopefully you've done lots of my previous classes before, you're all going to know hip hinges really well. We've got a nice neutral spine. We've got the knees soft, not locked. We've got our tripod foot, so big toe, little toe and heel. And on the next one, we're going to come out halfway. So So 45 degrees and stay. Reach your arms back like you're about to ski down a hill. Just check that core is engaged. Exhale, arms reach forwards. Inhale, they come back. Exhale to reach. Inhale to return. As we reach those arms forwards, you're a longer lever, so essentially you're just heavier. So that's putting more load through the back of the body. If your toes are lifting, it could be that you're actually starting to overuse your back muscles, and the reaction there is sort of falling back, the toes lift. So just check in with your posture. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. Now on the next one, arms reach forwards, we keep them there. On your next exhale, come back to standing. We're back where we started at the beginning of the class, and then we're going to hip hinge again. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, push back up. So again, we are heavier. Okay, we've got a longer lever here, so it's harder for the glutes and hamstrings. This might throw up some dominating muscles. So for me, my lower back will always kick in if it's got the chance. So maybe you start to notice, you know what, actually my lower back's getting quite achy. Well, that just tells us where we're tight or where we're dominant. It's not the end of the world. We can't be perfect everywhere. On the last one, we're going to come back out halfway. So we're going to hold that one there, then bring your hands to your chest into prayer. You're going to load up your right leg and take your left foot out behind you. So it's on the floor, feet about hip width apart. And we're going to hold it here just for a moment. So our right leg is loaded. Now from here, I want you to hip hinge all the way down. So you're as low as you would have been when you were doing your regular hip hinge. Then exhale, come back to the top. Inhale, hip hinge, come down. Exhale, come back up. Now this is the easier option, but ideally I'd love the advanced option. Back leg lifts as you hinge, back foot drops as you come up. So we're into our single leg deadlift. Think of your tripod foot on that right side, so big toe, little toe, heel. Think about the shape you're creating with your spine. Do you maybe need to tuck under a touch? Or maybe actually you're starting to flatten too much and you need to give yourself your curve back? Are the hips both pointing down towards the mat? On the next one, we're going to come out. Now we're going to hold this last one here. I would say it might be worth bringing the left foot to the floor just while you get used to this. It's aeroplanes. I'll show you from a few angles. My hips are neutral right now, they're pointing down. I'm going to let myself come out of neutral. I'm going to drop my left hip, lengthening my right glute med. Then as I exhale, I'm going to try and correct myself. So again, I'm going to let my hips veer to the right. Then I'm going to exhale to correct. I'll show you from another angle. So hips are level, I let them drop. I've rotated the hips to the right and then I correct. This right leg is going into medial rotation when I drop here. So that is lengthening actually my external rotators, and then I'm trying to recover. Now you can do this with that left leg lifted. And just make sure that the drop is really coming from the hip. It's not you just turning your rib cage. Let's do 2 more. Good, we lose neutral, we correct. 1 more. Correct it, come back to the top, give the leg a wiggle. It should have been that right glute and right hip where we felt it. Go straight onto the other side. So first of all, feet hip width, hands in prayer, come out 45 degrees first. Take your right foot behind you. Load your left leg, your knee is soft, not bent. Then hinge forwards all the way and come back up. Remember that this is option 1, keeping the back foot on the floor as you do your hip hinge. Or we can do that advanced option of bend and extend where the back leg lifts and it's almost like a single leg deadlift. So my left hamstring and glute are moving me. My right leg is firing up my right glute and probably my back muscles too, okay? But it shouldn't be all in the lower back. 3 more nice tripod foot and then we're into those aeroplanes. Ooh, I'm much more wobbly this side. I wonder if there's a difference for you. And on the next one, we're going to come out and we're going to hold. So I would probably drop the back foot at first, and this time we let the hips veer off to the left, and then we bring it back to correct it. So we lose alignment, then we correct. From this angle, I let my hips drop to the left. So this is now in medial rotation, I've turned in, and then I bring it back to its neutral alignment. Twist, and then recover. If you can, bring that back leg off the floor, and I'll really find this one tricky because that left side is weaker. It's hard enough on my right side. Oh, I'm gonna do 3 more. This should be actually pretty unpleasant in that left hip. Last 2. 1 more. Correct yourself, come up as slow as you possibly can, and at the top, give that left hip a wiggle and have a quick rest. Now move to the end of your mat for me. Take a moment to just reset. Take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, roll down. Chin to chest, peeling down, and at the bottom, just hang for a second. Relax the back of your neck, let your knees be soft. Breathing into it. And then when you're ready from here, bend your knees enough that you can bring your hands to the floor. We're going to walk out to a half plank. So coming out, meet me in a half plank position and then hold it there for a second. Take a look at the tummy. How is that looking? Are we managing those abdominals well? Think about the shoulders. Try not to sink into them and wing. Tuck your toes under. Big breath in. As you exhale, lift your knees up into a plank position and hold. Have we still got those serratus muscles on, stopping us from winging? How are we managing that extra pressure? Now on your next exhale, pike, fold in half. Stay here just for a moment. Try and use your abdominals here. Don't just use the strength of your arms. Think about almost scooping up through your core. Then when you're ready, come back down to your plank position, hold, make sure it's still a really nice technique, then lower the knees to half plank. Now let's add in the breath. So we're going to inhale to prepare, exhale to plank, inhale, staying correct, exhale to pike, inhale, staying correct, exhale back to plank, staying correct, inhale to come down, exhale, so we're coming into a full plank, and then inhale, hold it, exhale to pike it, inhale to hold it, exhale to plank it, inhale to hold it, exhale to drop, and inhale to prepare. So we move on the exhale, and we're going to use our lovely inhales just to make any little micro corrections that we think that we might need. We're really not going to get it perfect every time, and that's why it's worth just spending a little bit of time there. So your inhale, just making those little corrections. And it's really important in Pilates that we remember that we're not perfect. The whole reason most of us do Pilates is because maybe something isn't quite right. Maybe we've got a bit of pain or some muscle imbalances. And so it's about knowing how to correct. We're going to do about another 10 seconds here. How is the core coping? So it should be looking flat when it's loaded, not bulging out or doming. Can we all meet me back in a full plank or a half plank and hold? Stay for 3, 2, 1, rest. We can take a shell stretch here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let the shoulders collapse around those legs. Have a quick breather. 3 and 2. Hands by the shoulders. Push yourselves all the way up to standing kneel. Come to the top, find neutral. And then reach your arms out to shoulder height, relax the shoulders away from the ears, straight into our thigh stretch. So we're going to inhale to start hinging backwards as far as we can keep this nice neutral line. Exhale to pull back to the top. Inhale, we're hinging at the knee. Exhale to pull yourself back to the top. So obviously the further you go, the more challenging it's going to be. You're a longer lever, you're heavier. And it's a fight really between the glutes and the hamstrings. They need to both show up. Otherwise, abs kicking off does this, and the glutes switching off causes this. So get that balance right. Nice and slow. We're going to do just 2 more of these. Inhale to hinge and exhale to come up. On the next one, we're going to come back. We're going to hold it here for a second. Arms are going to reach up over the head. Hold it there. Keep that pelvic floor and core sit on. 3, 2, hands to shoulder height. Come up and rest. Roll over onto your backs and get yourselves nice and comfortable in a nice neutral start position. So pelvis neutral, rib cage aligned. Engage the core, float the legs up to tabletop, one at a time, and then stay there. Fingers to temples, elbows wide. Inhale, little head nod. Exhale to come up into your kind of ab prep position and just stop. What's going on with the core? Is it pulled nice and flat? Remember, there shouldn't be loads of pushing out. Single leg stretch, so it's one leg out, one leg in, and we switch and switch, keeping that tummy looking the same. Now we can keep the fingers to temples or take the arms overhead to make this harder. Or if you want to go kind of a little bit more original, you could have the outside hand to the ankle, inside hand to the knee. Use that breath. So find that option that works for you, that's a challenge, but you've got a nice technique. Final 4, 3, 2 legs back to tabletop, hold, come down, hug the knees in, have a quick breather. Bring the feet down to the floor, find neutral again, arms up to the ceiling. Take a big deep breath in as you exhale, come up into a glute bridge. So use the glutes to come up, hold it there. Now in this position, I want you to have a nice neutral line. So remember, don't go too high and don't tuck under like you're in a hip roll. We want to be nice and neutral. Inhale, hinge at the hips, come back down to the bottom. Do it again. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. So we're using those glutes here, squeezing those bum cheeks together. If you notice something else taking over, it's usually just a case of tweaking your positioning slightly. So if you're feeling it in your hamstrings, you might be in a bit of a posterior tilt. You need to relax a touch. If you're finding it's in your lower back, you're probably in extension. Maybe you're going too high or the abs have checked out. We're going to do 2 more. On the next one, come up, hold it there for me. Now load up your right foot without actually moving anything. Just feel the weight through the right foot. First, lift your left heel up, then lift the left leg up to tabletop, hold, other hips still level. Lower the toe, lower the heel, swap sides. Lift the right heel, lift the leg to tabletop, the hips still level. Lower the toe, lower the heel. So now we're going to exhale to roll through the foot and bring the leg to tabletop. Inhale to bring it back down. The challenge here is keeping those hips nice and level. So really thinking of those hip stabilizers. Keeping that pelvis nice and still. Good, we've got 2 more of these. Keep breathing, last one. Finish with both feet back on the floor, lower the hips down, and then rest. Fingers to temples, engage the core. One leg back to tabletop, bring the other leg up to join it. Little head nod. Lift the head and shoulders up. Exhale, take both legs away. Inhale to bring them back in. Exhale, it's a double leg extension. Inhale, return. The pelvis doesn't move, the tummy does not pooch. If you want more, reach arms and legs away, then inhale to bring it back in. Exhale to extend, inhale to return. If you want even more, keep the arms over the head. Exhale to reach, inhale, return. We're doing 4 more. Keep an eye on those tummies. 3, you don't have to fully straighten the legs if it causes you to lose your form. On the last one, take it to your bite point, hold it there. If you want it, we've got some flutter kicks here. Watch those tummies. Final 4, 3, 2, bring your legs back together. Come in, hug your knees, have a quick rest. Lovely. From here, bring the feet to the floor. Roll onto your side and then come up onto your forearms for me. So resting up on your forearms for hip twist. You can do this on your hands if you want to. I actually prefer it down here though. I find it's a little bit easier for people to show off their collarbone. Go into a slight posterior tilt, so a slight tuck. Float the legs up to tabletop, hold. Have a look at how your core's reacted. Are we still keeping a nice flat tummy? Extend the legs towards the top of the wall in front of you, and don't worry if you can't get your legs completely straight. You can do this with your knees soft. Now imagine a clock on the wall in front of you. Draw your toes around it clockwise. We're going to exhale for the first half, inhale for the second half, then other way, anti-clockwise. Exhale the first half, inhale the other half. So we're going to keep this going. It's an exhale on the way down, inhale on the way up. We're going to need the abdominals the most on the way down. And the challenge here is keeping that pelvis relatively still. So try not to rock side to side too much. There will be some functional movement side to side. But think about the shape of your lower back. It shouldn't extend on the way down and then flex on the way up. Can we keep it the same throughout? 2 more. Lovely. Finish the one you're on, hopefully roughly the same each side. Meet me at the top and then relax. Come down, hug your knees into your chest. Have a quick breather. Lovely. When you're ready, roll over onto your left-hand side. So come over onto your left. We're going to be going into a side plank. Now, if you've got dodgy wrists, you can do this on your forearm. It's not easier, it's just more comfortable. If you're happy on your hand though, fingers point towards your head end of your mat. Let's have your legs staggered at first, so almost straight, right foot in front of left foot. Remember to press into this left arm. Inhale, engage the core on the exhale and come up and find your nice long diagonal line. So same distance at both sides of the waist. If there's a difference, we're in a lateral flexion somewhere. Have a look at the hips, are they level? How is your core responding? You're more than welcome to stay here, or you can stack your feet. You can stay there, or you can lift your top leg. You can stay there, or we can inhale to bring the top leg in, exhale, extend it away. Inhale, bring it in, exhale, extend it away. Just watch that left hip. Try not to let it drop. We're going to do 5 more seconds up here. 3, 2, can we all meet out in star? Lower the foot back down, come down, have a quick break. Give the shoulder a quick wiggle. Straight onto the other side while it's fresh in our memory. So you can either do right hand or right forearm. The left foot is in front first. Press into the right arm. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, come up, stay. Try to get that lovely neutral line. So it almost looks like you're just standing in neutral. Options, you can stay here or you can stack your legs. That loses you a base of support. You can stay here or you can star. So lift the leg up, sorry I've got an itchy nose, don't drop the hip. Last option, inhale, bring your leg in, exhale, star. Inhale in, exhale, star. If you can keep that left leg in a bit of turn out as well, that would be great. We've got abduction and turn out. We've got about 5 seconds left, maybe we all meet in star. 3, don't sink into that right shoulder. Last one, take it away, hold it there if you can. 3, 2, 1, come down with control and rest. Lovely. Give your shoulder a wiggle, hopefully you're still with me. And then, yes, Sunday. So now come back onto your back. So we're going to be going into some rollovers, okay? So you're going to want to make sure there's nothing too close at the other end of your mat that you're going to kick over. Take a moment to get comfortable. I would imprint first. I always like to do this just to err on the safe side at first. Bring the legs up one at a time and then cross your ankles over for a quick rollover prep. So ankles are crossed, arms are by your side. As you exhale, shorten the abdominals, feeling the tailbone lifting off the floor or the sacrum leaving the ground. And remember that it's the abdominals shortening from the base up rather than rib cage being pulled down. It's more pelvis being pulled up. If you want to, or I'd like you to, arms into the air, and then you get an idea of how much you were cheating. It's not intentional, but it's going to happen. Let's do 1 more, then cross the ankles the other way. Do the same again. You might notice there's a bit of a difference. Maybe you're the same strength both sides, but what you might find is it's just a real habit, always crossing your legs the same way. And we don't really like habits in Pilates. 2 more, 1 more, and then have a quick break. Hug your knees into your chest. Lovely, so into your rollovers. Reach your legs, up towards the ceiling as straight as your hamstrings will allow. And I'd probably be an imprint at first. We're going to inhale to let the legs fall away as far as we can maintain that imprint. Then as we exhale, we're going to bring the legs towards us. Do the same movement you just practiced. So hips to ribs, legs go over the head. Separate the legs hip width. You're not on your head, you're on your shoulder girdle. That's really important. Then as you exhale, you roll down slowly, slowly, a vertebra at a time, all the way back to the bottom, legs together. Do it again. Inhale the legs away, exhale two. Legs go over the head. Inhale, split the legs hip width. Exhale, control that eccentric lengthening of the abdominals as the hips come down. If you wanted to work a touch harder, you could do all of this with the arms overhead. So I'll show you that when I get to the bottom of this next one. So arms would be overhead. Watch so you don't get rib flare. And then again, it just shows you if you were cheating. And usually it's quite a surprise how much harder that's going to be. Now, we're going to do one more of these, then we're going to give jackknife a go. But if you hate jackknife, first of all, so do I. But secondly, you can come back to just your rollovers if you want to. So the bottom of the next one, I would put the arms back by your side first. So the difference here, we inhale the legs away and to take them over the head. Now as you exhale, use your glutes here to reach the legs up to the ceiling into a shoulder stand. Inhale to stay. Exhale to try and peel down without flexing at the hips too much. And we're back on the diagonal. Ready to inhale to take the legs over. Exhale to reach the tiptoes to the ceiling into shoulder stand. Inhale to stay and reach. Exhale to peel down without flexing the legs too close to the body. Very difficult to talk and do. You can do it with the arms over the head if you want to, okay? Especially if you're coming up to do things like your kind of balance exercises on shoulder stand. So it can be a really good practice. Ugh. Let's do one more of these. Good, use that exhale to get those glutes to fire, to lift, lift, lift. Inhale to stay, and exhale to roll down. I hate it, I'm also not very good at it, but the exercises we hate are usually the ones we need more of. Hug your knees in, have a quick breather, and then when you're ready, roll over onto hands and knees for me. So meet me over on hands and knees. Take a moment to find a nice neutral spine. Big deep breath in, and as you exhale, engage your core for me. Tuck your toes under, and on your next exhale, lift the knees 1 inch up off the mat. Inhale, pop the knees back down. Exhale, lift the knees up 1 inch off the mat. Inhale, pop the knees back down. Keep this going, nice neutral spine. Try not to sink into these arms. Use your serratus to push the ground away. You can also try pressing into your little finger. That can really help to activate underneath those armpits. We're going to do one more. We're going to lift, we're going to hold that last one there. So is the spine still relatively neutral? How's the core responding? How's the tummy looking? Then when you're ready, bums into the air, keeping those knees bent so it's not down dog, it's modified, and hold. Press the palms into the floor, get that openness through the chest. If you're looking at your mat, you should be looking at your legs instead. So relax the back of your neck and breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Relax your jaw, maybe stick out your tongue and make a HA sound. So nice big deep breath in, stick out the tongue. Do that twice more just to relax that jaw, relax that neck. And when you're done with your last one, you can walk your hands to your feet. Pop your feet flat on the floor and just hang here for a second. The knees are soft, not locked. Take another big deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly roll up with the arms dangly, the back of the neck loose. Peeling all the way to the top. At the top, meet me there in neutral, hold it there. Close your eyes, another couple of big deep breaths, just scanning the body for tension and then blowing it away. And then when you're done, you can relax, have a bit of a wiggle, have a bit of a shake out, and that is you done. So hopefully you're feeling good. Any questions before you go? Those of you doing it live, feel free to stay and chat. If you have time to do a bit more stretching on your mat, I would definitely recommend maybe some more roll downs or some glute stretching. But otherwise, if you're watching this on demand, I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.